This is a video for Lich Spiel Haas. What the hell is this guy's name? Lich Spiel Haas 234. Okay, I want to start off by addressing this first thing that was first claim made on my last video. That says apparently the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. This is what's being said. Basically, that's bullshit. That's an idiotic claim, especially when it comes down to supernatural claims. I mean, you can't exactly all the way demonstrate that fucking ghosts don't exist. I'm not gonna believe so because there's no evidence, there's no reason to. It's stupid as all hell. As on the scale of what we ought not believe, ghosts are one of the things on the lower scales. And the same thing for God. Any of them, you take your pick. There's no reason to believe it, especially since you have no evidence. It seems like it's used for, especially in today's society, is emotional comfort, which I don't know if I have any truly have any objections to it. I don't know. I don't need that. I don't care. I honestly rather be accepting of some sort of truth, or just plead I don't know and be depressed, than believe something that is looks like a falsehood. Either way, whatever floats to one's boat. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but right before I made this, I sent a message about how apparently in atheistic nations they have a higher suicide rate, when never being shown anything like that. I mean, China, highly atheistic, barely no one committing suicide. Let's see, where else? Shit. Well, Japan too, especially for like in modern times, they've had the highest teen suicide rate back, I don't know, maybe a few years back, but really not so much as for recent times, as of like maybe like 2008. They probably need to go back and do that again just to validate and see what the data is saying. But either way, from freaking Iceland to Finland, a lot of these very highly secular atheistic nations, Australia, their suicide rates are not high, and their antidepressant consumption rates are not high, especially compared to what happens here in America, where most people are religious. Not even all Christian, but some sort of religious, or believe in some sort of deity, and still get down in the dumps to the point where they have to take pills. And it has the highest crime rate. So from there, I'm going to say these beliefs don't mean shit. You're still just people. I mean, at least that's what the data's saying anyway. Whatever. Or you could claim they're not real. They're not real Christians. You know, commit our no true Wisconsin fallacy. They may consider themselves so, but you say they're not, and have no real criteria to say that they're violating anything. Anyway, onto the arguments that have been asserted forth. Now, one thing that seems to be just one thing going back and forth here that I don't think I can convey through these messages is God did not create evil. He created good and which in turn made it possible for evil to exist. This is the claim made. None of these premises are remotely true. First off, they would have to involve me believing that there was a God, right? So basically, you're arguing to yourself, which was retarded, honestly. why? Who the fuck comes to an atheist? And something like that. I mean, as in a hypothetical sense, okay, I could humor that for a second, right? All right. Okay, we're gonna humor that for a second, just for a second, strictly for sake of argument. Because really, that shit's stupid. The concept of good and evil are all just changed within culture, and give a fuck objective bullshit. No. So it creates good, which made it, in terms of causality, made it possible for evil to be there. Why? When asked why, you never answered. You say just because that's the logical way that things would be set up. Well, why must God adhere to some sort of logic? His very existence in what it is, in what he, she, it is illogical. So why does he have to adhere to any logical premises of such things as, like, he creates a world where there's no such thing as a square circle or something like that? I'm not getting it here. I don't see. I'm not seeing the connection here. I mean, maybe that works for the believer, the apologetics for that, but really that doesn't really gel. That doesn't make any damn sense. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. And then say the creator of all things, why would he create it? And then even then, why create the possibility? Let's humor, he didn't create it, he created the possibility. Why create the possibility? What? Okay, now we went to the argument of we would be slaves to doing good. When just maybe a few messages back, you had written that, okay, had given an example that what if everyone was born blind? How would anyone know what sight or what the world really looked like? We would all just believe that this was the norm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But this same thing, the same sort of thing would apply for God. For the thing with the being slaves to good deeds. You wouldn't fucking know you were enslaved to anything. You would just be constantly, everyone just being good. And you have no concept of anything that you're missing because the thing never existed. Just as in the blind, everyone being blind thing, the concept of sight just never existed. And then the same thing, concept of evil just never existed. So slaves to what? Maybe right now we conceptualize, oh, that'd be terrible, but if we just put into creation or whatever fruition that everything was just always good, we have no idea what the fuck we were missing. This is such a non-answer, a non-argument here. It's really silly. And I'm not going to address all of this. Live is just a bunch of apologetics arguments over fucking biblical interpretation or whatever bullshit, just bullshit. But I wanted to address that the latest message sent here when I was informing them that I was making a video about them. Okay, but they're asserting that the whole atheistic countries have whatever, providing no evidence for that, when suicide in itself is actually a population rarity any damn way, but actually most commonly yearly, especially around the holidays, happens here a lot of times in the U.S. And the most people take antidepressants in places where they're manufactured and sold, are, and pharmacies don't have a lot of them, are right here in the U.S. I don't see where we're getting at here, whatever. And he said it's also been proven that theists have better sex. And I just wanted to throw that in, as if that matters. If sex is that big of a part of someone's life, you're not a person important to society or the human race. How do we go from arguing the existence or non-existence, or what's noble and what's not noble about some creator, right, to it's been proven that since we believe in God, we have better sex? I'm sorry. This does not show good light on your level of intellect. I mean, to even mention that, who cares? That's a non-thing here. No one cares. I mean, maybe someone does, but I fucking don't. And I don't buy it for a fucking second. You better go ahead and if you say you're promised to make a reply to this, right? Okay, go ahead and do that, right? Do that, and please cite where you get this whole atheistic countries have a higher suicide rate, and also cite where the study shows that theistic people have better sex. When really, can that be a flux in data? Especially since the fact that most people on fucking earth are theistic. You're not making any fucking sense. But anyway, I'm going to humor it anyway and let you come up with your evidence. Now as for this, when I say, a lot of people get this misconception that when I say things like, in fact, we're a bunch of monkeys on a pathetic monkeys on a blue dot who think that we matter when we don't. Well, in all objectivity, we don't. But we still subjectively value ourselves and others. And you use some sort of grand cosmic creator to legitimize your completely subjective value of self. When looking at all objectivity taking away emotional value, human beings aren't exactly like they're like this big treasure gold thing, or just have this objective value, and most things don't have an objective value anyway. I mean, diamonds, rubies, pearls, whatever, those still need a mind for them to be valued, and then that's subjective, whatever. But even so, accepting that doesn't mean that your life has to be purposeless, which is what I try to correct. I said just because that is, as it stands, a fact here, does not mean that your life has to be purposeless. You can give it purpose. You can make it up. I don't know. Like I saw a video just today with a TJ, amazing scientist, whatever. Said that his purpose is to wake up every day at like 3 p.m. right, and eat fucking what do you say, Oreos? That could be it. I mean, some people say that's a menial purpose, or I never want to do that. Well, then do something else. I mean, this is not hard stuff. I mean, if you really need this cosmic boogeyman for your life to mean anything, even to yourself, that's stupid. Does my life have objective value? No, but I subjectively value it, and I'm gonna fight for it. And now they said that I said to be a monkey is pathetic. No, the reason why human beings are a race of pathetic monkeys, because of our behavior and what we do. Fuck. Anti-aging creams, fucking a whole bunch of fucking antidepressants, fucking a new type of Viagra, like, I don't know, every few fucking years or something like that. There's some new brand or some new style of it. Like fucking always new and inventive sex toys, some weird ass machines that'll like fuck the shit out of your asshole without ripping it out and all this other bullshit, right? We can do that. We can do all that. We're industrious when it comes to bullshit like that. We're industrious when it comes to bullshit like that, right? But when it comes to things like trying to map the entire human brain, cures for cancer, not fucking trying to blow each other up in bullshit like that, we don't have the capacity for that, which is why I would say that humans are a pathetic thing of monkeys. But being a monkey in general doesn't by default make you pathetic. And that's about it, and I await his or her response.